This Liberty Sports Update is brought to you by Beacon Credit Union.
Javon, you guys 5-0. What's that 5-0 feeling like?
Man, it's very good. All the guys, we finally understand what it takes to win. So we just going out there every day, just making the most out of every opportunity. Because obviously it's COVID season, so the game can get canceled at any possible time coming. So we just still got to prepare like we know for a fact that any type of game is going to get played. So just going out there and just taking the best opportunity that we get each and every day is basically the honing factor that's got us to the point we are at right now.
Real quick, one more from me, just on that note there. You said these guys finally are starting to understand what it takes to win. What's the lesson been like here, or the lessons over the last couple of years of learning how to win football games and play championship football?
Preparation and communication. I've probably told y'all guys that plenty of times before, but those are the two big factors that it takes to win. You got to prepare like a champion, and you just gotta communicate like a champion. You turn any NFL game on or whatever, you just hear rah 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 like that. That's the communication part that Coach Batoon and the defensive staff has like instilled in us to make sure that we're going out there on a daily basis and communicating.
All right, first question from the media goes to Damian Sordelette from the Lynchburg News and Advance.
Morning, Javon. You look at how good your pass defense has been this year. I believe you guys top 5 in the nation, and a lot of that probably has to do with the ability to rush 4 guys and be able to drop 7 and force opposing teams to go into max protect, and you guys can easily cover, 3-man routes. Is that you look at that as a key to why you guys have been so successful because of what the front's been able to do?
Definitely. Our D-line is outstanding. Those two edge rushers, and Darrell Johnson and Treshawn Clark, those guys are big, scary guys that the tackles don't like to really see because they're usually faster than any O-lineman that we face. So with those two guys just having that ability to flush the quarterback to just step up in the pocket, and with the nose guards and those 3 techs or whatever it is that's in the middle of that thing, just containing the quarterback so that he can't get out of the pocket, and those 2 edge guys just coming around and just finishing off the job. All we have to do is just in the back end is just cover for a couple seconds, and next thing you know, it's probably a sack or quarterback's throwing the ball away, or he's trying to scramble to try to get some yardage. But just the fact that the D-line is just getting so much push and rushing is just making our job in the back end a lot easier, and obviously it results in whatever it results in.
Next up, let's go to Ryan Moy from FXR in Roanoke.
Hey, Javon, how you doing?
I'm good, boss.
Just talk a little bit about this defensive unit's mental acuity, just being able to kind of just hone in and just continue to do what you guys do and flip it around every single weekend. I mean, how do you guys stay mentally fit?
We come in, we just watch film, and our coaches just tell us that the last game is over, so we're gonna just go on to the next game, and just it's basically a next play mentality, just like a next game mentality. Nothing that you did last game can affect what you're gonna go out there and do the next Saturday. So just going out there, just knowing that this is a new fresh start, new time to go 1-0 for the week. That's just the biggest mindset that we have. To look back at the end of the season and just whatever the results may be, just try to go 1-0 every week.
All right, next up, let's get to John Manson from A Sea of Red.
Hey, Javon, you were talking about the uncertainty of games that you could have off and on during the season with COVID and things like that. With Southern Miss having missed their last couple games due to that, is that something that's kind of in the back of your mind or the players' minds this week as you're trying to prepare to hopefully play a game Saturday?
Obviously it is. You have that slight chance to we might just prepare and still not get a game, but like I said earlier, you have to still prepare as if you're going to still have that game, and hopefully we do. So, yeah, it's in the back of so players' minds and obviously mine too, but I just hope that we get to play.
Next up is Leo Johnson from College Football Primetime.
All right.
Coming off a 12-tackle performance against Syracuse last week, what do you plan to do versus Southern Miss to shut down their passing game?
I plan to play a little slower. Obviously, they run a lot of RPOs and whatnot, so I just plan on to play a little bit slower. But I still don't want to get off my game, obviously, because that's gonna obviously help out the other 10 players on the field. If I just get in my gaps and my zones and cover my man, so I just feel like that just doing that, that's basically what I'll try to do for this next game.
Next, let's go back to Damian.
Javon, you look at the development of Emmanuel Dabney this year, and he's actually played really well opposite of Chris. And what can you speak to how he's been able to play this year after dealing with a hamstring injury last year?
He's a fighter, so obviously it's no surprise to me. I already knew what our guys were capable of doing, and we already knew prior to this season that he was a lockdown corner. So it's just the fact that getting the confidence and the reps and the experiences, and obviously we have chemistry together. So he can tell me certain things, and we can play off each other. So just that chemistry and just the fact that he's a fighter is just what made him get up to the point where he's at right now, which is dominating.
Next up, Emily Austin from Flames Central.
Hey, Javon. Coach Freeze was talking about, like, one of the things, the biggest growth areas for this team has been the confidence and the defense. How much has that been you leading these guys, and what area of growth have you seen on the defensive side of the ball?
From the start off, the big growth part from last year is obviously, like I'm gonna say every time, is the communication part. A lot more guys are recognizing routes and tendencies more, and they obviously know the plays more, so they can give those pre-snap keys and reads and things like that so we already know where we're gonna go check into, depending on whatever the formation is or the personnel or whoever's out there. But my contribution to this is just basically just telling the guys that we just got to push and keep on going. If we want it, we'll go get it. And I think a lot of the guys are bought into that part of, if we want it, we'll go get it each and every game.
Javon, one more from me. How good is Jack Abraham compared to the other quarterbacks you've seen this year or maybe even in the past?
I haven't really watched him too much, so I can't really answer that one.
Let's go back to John.
Hey, Javon, as one of the team leaders, the defensive leaders, you guys coming off that big win against Syracuse, you hear a lot about, letdowns or trap games. How are you helping to make sure your team doesn't have a letdown this week against Southern Miss?
Just telling them to come out there and just prepare like we've been preparing the last 5 weeks. Just going out there with a positive swagger, just that attitude that it's a work day, just going out there and just doing all the things that we just had found out about our meetings prior to that practice, and just going out there and just doing the things that we just review with our coaches.